I'm going to introduce Javier Campopiano. He's going to say a few scandalous things as well on this very subject. Thank you for hearing me out. Javier.
Yeah. Working? Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, my friend, whatever Bravery tells you to do. Sit, stand.
No, I'm going to stay sit because I'm a coward. I mean, when we were discussing this topic previous to this panel, the first word that came to my mind about bravery was naivety. Because I think that that actually ideas are born brave, but from a really naive standpoint. When you have an idea that you like, usually it comes from a really naive standpoint in the sense that you are not thinking about the risks, you're not thinking about the client, you're not thinking about your career, you're not thinking about money or the money you're going to lose if it goes off the rail. You're feeling, in a really naive way what that idea can do. And then we start losing that naivety along the way. And I think that there are many reasons for that, but probably I think that risk aversion is the first one. And for me, my example of that is a couple of things I did before moving to Mexico in Sachi, New York. I was fortunate enough to work on Tide for the Super Bowl twice. And I think that probably the most well-known piece of work it's a Tide ad, but I think that the most difficult one was and the one that required more bravery was the previous one that was called Bradshaw Stain, where we put a stain on live TV on the shirt of an announcer, and we actually connected the TV commercial with that. That is a less known piece of work, but I think that one was the one that required more bravery because we were playing with a lot of money. We were, $35 million, the 30 seconds in the Super Bowl, and we didn't know that we could pull it off. And along the way, what I learned was that I needed to keep that naivety to convince the rest of the people, our agency partners, Fox Network, everyone that we could pull it off. And to actually make it happen, there's a yin and yang for bravery to me. One is the naive side of bravery, and then the pessimistic side of bravery. And so you have naivety and pessimism. And I'm from Argentina. We are really pessimistic people. So because our country always goes off the rails and crisis, so we are used to think like everything is going to go down the toilet. So for me, incorporating naivety and optimism was really hard work, but I had to do it in America because in America, if you don't show that you believe in something and you don't show that you are optimistic about something, usually people don't see it, So I had to incorporate that, but I had to keep my pessimistic side as well, because the pessimistic side allowed me to say, okay, this is a great idea, everyone's loving this idea, but these are the things that can make this idea go completely down the sink.
Right.
And it worked because I was so paranoid that it helped me to keep the idea on track. And when we were doing Tide ad, and this is the second part of the naivety, is like when we were doing Tide ad, we had to be naive again to feel that we could actually overcome what we had created. 2 days before the brief, I don't know if you have the clicker?
I don't. Does anyone have a clicker?
It's just there on the bench.
But it's just to show I mean, 2 days before we started doing the second Super Bowl brief, we were in a meeting. I don't know if it's working. It's not working, right? Yeah. We were in a meeting where we were showing all the things that Brad Chastain had achieved. 22% sales growth, 13 Cannes Lion, 3 Andes, and one show. But most importantly, 22% sales growth. And this was 2 days before we had to start the second brief. And the team was having a lot of pressure. So my way to actually keep that naive spirit was saying to them, we're not going to do better than this.
Yeah, sure. Pressure's off, right?
No, but I actually believed it. I didn't believe that we would do better than that. And that was a naive approach as well, because it was the Super Bowl, and I was actually not pretending that we would actually perform as we had performed. And it really worked. And of course, we did better than the first one.
Good.
But I think that those two aspects about bravery, for me, bravery is not about courage. Again, it's about having a really naive approach to ideas, and at the same time keeping a pessimistic side.
Cool. So if I can sum up, and then I want to move on to hear from Echo, but it helps to stay naive, doesn't it? Because then mistrust and all those pessimistic Argentinian traits, they don't enter the frame. You can just be naive and trusting. Senor Johns trusted that I was going to give him a non-poison glass of water. So you don't. His bravery or his fear doesn't even have to enter into it.
For me, it's the only way to approach ideas, because I think I grew up in Argentina, in Ogilvy. At that time, Ogilvy wasn't as good as it became later on, and it was really corporate. And I started there, and the feeling there was when you had a great idea, you had a problem. Because no one knew how to sell it, or no one knew what kind of.
I think we still have that problem.
Well, what I'm saying is, and then I had the luck to work with other people that were working in more risk-taking agencies, and I felt that when they had a great idea, they were not scared, they were happy.
Mm-hmm.
And that changed to me the approach about ideas. I think naivety is really, really important.
I agree 100%.